Amon DesSources.
Amon DesSources.
DesSources?
Yeah, you didn't know that, huh?
Dude, no, I did not. I've always just read your name as DesSources.
No, I did it my whole life until I was 24. And then...
was DesSources?
I was saying DesSources my whole life. And then this French guy named Patrick, one of my mentors from UFC gym, he was like, he looked at my business card. He was like, oh, DesSources. And I was like, what? He was like, yeah, you're Haitian, right? And I was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, that's a French name. He's from Canada, Montreal. So ever since Patrick told me, shout out to Patrick.
That's fucking news to me.
I found out it's DesSources. It means of the source. That's why Eldon calls me the source. He wants that to be my nickname now.
That'd be a badass nickname.
The source, yeah.
Or Keela God.
Hey, I haven't been Keela God in a while. Oh, there we go. I haven't been Keela God in quite some time.
Okay. Haven't been Keela God in quite some time.
Yeah.
We can fix that.
I didn't even celebrate Cinco de Mayo. I went home. I know. I'm sorry. Dallas is disappointed.
I'm sad. You hurt my soul with that. A bunch of people went out. Fucking, what's his name? Who was posting about it? Who posted the fucking video of Sam just walking around a bar in his rash guard?
Oh, that was Ruben. Yeah. He had his belt on too.
I knew someone posted a video. I was like, I remember seeing Sam, but I was like, who the fuck posted it?
I was like on the couch just, living vicariously through the team. Usually I do go out, but I work Mondays at 6 a.m.
Now you're being wholesome.
Yeah.
You can work hungover.
No, not teaching. It's fucked up.
Oh, yeah, I guess you. Oh, teaching at 6 a.m. Yeah, instead of.
Yeah, then the comm class right after. But yeah.
That's fucked up.
DesSources. I'm on DesSources.
DesSources. That makes sense. Why call? Okay. That's fucking cool.
Yeah.
So the personal training shit that we were talking about before this, how long you been a personal trainer for?
This is 2024. So this is my 4th year doing it full time. 3rd year doing it full time in Atlanta. So the fucked up story was I was a gym manager in New York before I moved. And then I realized, general managing wasn't really for me at the time. And I wanted to be a coach instead. So I left that job and went to be a boxing coach at New York Sports Club. And I was working at Everybody Fights. So I was doing like 2 jobs plus jiu-jitsu, all gym work. And I was like, I think I just want to be a coach full time. And this was like 2019. And then 6 months later, the whole city closed. So I was doing full-time training in the park with like 4 clients a week type of shit. And then...
Holy shit.
Yeah, I did that all the way till 2021 and then moved down here. So 3 years full-time. But I've been doing it as side work for a long time. But seriously, like making income off of it and paying bills, 3 years full-time.
When you're training people in the park in New York during COVID, how much do you get paid for that?
Back then, I was charging between $45 and $65 a session.
Okay, that's not bad, especially if you're...
I was basically, because I was so new, I was basing my pricing on what Sports Club was paying me for 45 minutes.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, I don't have to clean the gym because they had a clean team. I just have to pick up my own equipment. So I'll just charge $45 for an hour. Because, between explaining, especially if they're new with the movements, I always give a little extra time. So I would charge between 45 and 60. But this was before I knew how good I was.
Yeah.
You know how that goes.
What makes a good personal trainer?
Patience. But not babying people either. You want to challenge them, but also be patient. And some people like a drill sergeant, but you just have to be true to yourself. I'm not really the drill sergeant type. I can be if people want me to be, but I'm more like, let's just get this done. Very detailed. And you can't say just do it. Like, you have to be able to show the move. Like, just because you can do it yourself doesn't mean the person understands how to do it. So you have to be able to translate it in a language that they understand. Like, for example, teaching a boxing class, some people you say, bring your hand back to your chin. Some people you will say, bring your hand back to your face. And strangely enough, those 2 words, more people might listen to the other one. They might not understand chin. Like, why do you want me to bring my hand back to my chin? But if I tell you, bring your hand back to your face, it's weird.
That is
strange. You have to play with the words a lot.
So literally just switching up one word depending on the client will alter how good they are at executing a movement.
Yeah, and how much experience they have in sports. Like even teaching jujitsu, sometimes I'll be like if I need to demonstrate something for someone who doesn't get it, I'll say, trade places with me. Now, this week I started saying that. Before I was like, switch with me. And then everyone would pause. They wouldn't know what I meant. And then now I'm like, trade places with me. And then immediately they get up off their partner and then they let me in just because of that. So it's figuring out how to translate it to someone so they get it is a skill, which is why I admire Coach Brennan so much, because he can say something so minimal and you'll be like, oh, okay. Most of the time.
Yeah. That is interesting, like the communication side of it. I've never once thought about communication as a personal trainer, at least. On the coaching side, that makes a little bit more sense.
People think it's just give them the workouts and then that's the job, but that's the fun and easiest part. Can you, are they a person you should call or should you text them to remind them about the session? Some people, you leave them with more accountability. So like some people, if you text them too much, you give them room to say, actually, I'm not going to make it tomorrow. Other people, you don't text them at all. You book them and that's it. And they'll show up, so it's like, you have to kind of feel it out. And it's a learning process. Some people I've texted too much and then they will always cancel. Then I switched it up and said, you know what? I'm just going to book you out for 2 weeks and then just say, see you tomorrow. Not, are you coming tomorrow? I'll see you tomorrow.
No, you can't ask. Yeah. You got to be like, I'll see you bright and early, motherfucker. Yeah. Like you'll be there at 9 a.m. Okay. There's a marketing angle in there somewhere.
Of course. Yeah.
Because I'm thinking, okay, yeah, again, me being a dumbass thinking about the personal trainer side of stuff, it's like, okay, if I'm hiring a personal trainer, I want someone, accountability and to say, here's your workouts, go execute on that. I'm not thinking, oh yeah, well, you do have to break it down. And it's like, if you were building out like a marketing stack for like, oh, why come to Amon's personal training? That's got to be a component of it. Like, oh yeah, I'm going to break it down into a language that you understand. How long does it take you to calibrate or to figure out the most effective way to communicate with a client? Is it normally like pretty quick, or does that take like is there like a building process where you're like, oh, okay, I should communicate this way or whatever? If
they've had a sports background, it should be pretty easy within like the first session. I have specific workouts I give people. So because I explain those workouts, it's like a standard, like, it's like a baseline. Like I'll say, okay, go down this line and I want you to touch your opposite side. Right hand to left foot, left hand to right foot, and then come back, jog back. So one, I can see how they respond to opposite side of the body, if they're coordinated and if they heard what I said. So sometimes I'll say right to left, left to right. But some people think I mean right hand to right foot, left to left. So they'll like kick straight and touch their right.
Oh, they'll do like a...
Yeah, instead of crossing the body. So I'm like, no, you need to touch across. So it's interesting. If you explain that so many times over and over again, you get good at seeing, okay, this person responded well when I said it this way. So if they get it the first time, I'm like, okay, cool. So it takes me about 1 to 2 sessions, but usually the first one we call it an assessment.
Mm-hmm.
You'll know like their experience level. We give them like push-ups, squats, basic movements that they should be able to do for their age group.
That's fucking crazy to me.
Yeah.
I've never once thought about that from that angle. It
gets deep.
When you're bringing clients in, do you get most of them from X3 or do you find how does the client?
When I first moved here, they were my only job. So they have this thing. Most gyms have it. It's like a complimentary session, and
mm-hmm.
You sit down with a coach. Some gyms take your body fat and all this other stuff. And, you help them, you give them a workout based off of what their goals are. But you have to make it of value. If you just tell them it's a free session, then they will treat it as such. But you have to actually help the person. So I think going back to that other question, a good trainer actually wants to help. If I'm just doing it to stack my bread up, people will see right through that. I'm willing to help you through a free session. You never talk to me again. As long as I was able to show you how to do that push-up or that squat, good. Because my goal, especially coming from UFC gym, sometimes people come from other gyms and you're like, how long have you boxed? And they'll say 3 years. And then you see their form, you're like, you sure about that? So it's just like my goal ever since watching that was make sure the person has enough skills to where if they have to move somewhere and they say, oh, I trained with Amon, and you see they're moving, you're like, okay, you did train. So I always try to equip people with skills, like almost how a doctor should be. You shouldn't need me or be on the meds forever. I should be able to get you off of this shit. Meaning the only reason you should need me is if you constantly have newer goals. So some of my clients that I've had for years is because they keep having new goals. But they could easily, all my clients can easily design a workout on their own because I'm teaching them basically how to be their own trainer. So as far as X3 is concerned, yeah, that's where I get like client base and I'll train them there. But I also market on my page too. So you meet people like at bars, at restaurants, especially if you like in a fitted outfit or anything like that. They're like, oh, you must train. Or they see my cauliflower ear at CVS. I got one guy to come to Odyssey just because he saw my cauliflower ear. He was like, you box or you do MMA? And I'm like, no MMA, teaching boxing, full-time jiu-jitsu. And then he came by for a free class and signed up.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
A little referral fee too.
Yeah. Also, Windy Hill Athletic Club. I teach boxing there too. And they don't have jiu-jitsu. So if anyone ever asks me about jiu-jitsu, I just tell them to come to Odyssey.
How long have you been teaching boxing? Same time as the personal training? 3 years?
No, teaching boxing. Oh wait, yeah. I started right after I left the management job back home. So that was since 2019.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually doubted myself. I didn't think because prior to that, I was already training for about 3 years in boxing. Okay. So I was studying a lot from my mentors. And I was like, I don't know if I'm ready to teach. It was just basics. And they had like a audition for coaches. And they were like, just show us how you would run a class. But for the last 3 years, I had been watching all my mentors run classes. So I gave them like basics, jabs, cross, mainly footwork. Because I noticed a lot of people couldn't move their feet. And they loved that. And they hired me on the spot.
Really? What do most people screw up with their footwork when they're starting in boxing?
Balance, taking their time, being patient. Crossing their feet. I can't cross my feet going left and right. If I step left, I want to use my left foot. If I step right, I want to use my right foot. No matter what stance you're in, I want to lead with that foot. Most people cross their feet, and now you're automatically off balance.
Is that what? So you cross your feet, now you're off balance. Now you're more likely to get knocked down if you get
because if you get hit while you're off balance, you're cooked. You want to be sturdy, so that way you're glued to the ground, so you can absorb a punch if you need to.
I saw a video of Jamal Hill. It was before the Pajero fight, the Alex Pajero fight. And he was sitting there and he was like, we're just walking, like crossing his feet in the cage. And like, let me get this straight. Y'all think Jamal Hill was going to outbox Alex Pajero?
I don't think I saw that video.
It was so bad.
Yeah, footwork it's how you get around. If you can't get to your target, you're kind of lost. And I saw that when I was studying all my guys in like UFC gym. People would be good on the bags, but if you weren't taught footwork, when you got in the octagon, you could clearly see the difference in skill level.
Just like managing the range to...
Yeah, like if I move back, can you find me efficiently? Because if you're not balanced and you're coming in, I can hit you too. So footwork is king. Just like basketball too. People talk about Scottie Pippen's like defense, but he had great footwork. He can cut you off. He had long wingspan, but good footwork. Kobe Bryant, good offensively, but his footwork was crazy.
That's interesting. Are there differences between coaching and boxing and coaching or teaching and jiu-jitsu?
Yeah. Getting people to take it seriously in boxing and the fall off, I think, is faster in boxing. You find out how bad someone wants it sooner in boxing because you're getting hit in the face.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you think just getting cracked in the mouth is like, okay, this is the differentiator of like
jiu-jitsu. You can do that a while without competing, or even in your first comp, you like, oh, I think I want to do this until maybe a tough weight cut happens or a tough trip or anything can happen. But I think it'll take a little longer to see if someone really wants to stay. Boxing, you'll find out sooner than later.
Okay.
Yeah.
How soon do you start having people spar?
In boxing?
Yeah.
You got to do footwork and just do the basic defense. You know, we call them wedges. Everyone has a different name for it, but it's like blocking with your forearms, being able to protect your ribs, protect your head, keep your chin down. You have to understand these core fundamentals automatically without me. Sometimes I'll like have them shadow box and just watch. And if I have to remind you of something, then we're not at that level where it's automatic. So I think a good 6 to 8 months without full sparring, you could do what we call it's technically ecological training, but not really. It's really just maybe I say, okay, Dallas, you spar with just your jab today.
Okay.
And then now you have to get comfortable with the jab. Then we add the cross. Otherwise, you're focusing on too many tools at once. So your job is to just slip the jab. Or if I'm holding mitts for you, today I'm only going to throw the jab at you. So you know one punch is coming, you're getting used to moving for that specific attack, which is cool because you can focus on that for now, and also you get used to moving your head. And most people will try to find their range with the jab anyway.
Okay.
So if you can avoid a jab and keep someone from landing, which is usually their opening punch, for the most part, there's outliers, but if you can keep them from landing their jab, you can probably, it's hard to land anything else if you can't find the person. That's like your seeing stick.
So you use the jab to figure out, okay, this is how to calibrate how far you're going to throw your punch.
I think that's the most important punch.
I've heard a bunch of people talk about this like ecological approach. I have no idea what that is.
I'm still learning myself.
What the fuck is it?
It's just like you make it a game. Like, can I touch your stomach with the jab? Can I touch your forehead with the jab? I score a point and we tally up the point. I was doing that before I found out about the approach, which is why I'm more interested in it now, because I heard of it, but I was like, cool. Just the name didn't really strike me. But once I heard, I think the dude's name is Greg Souders or something Souders. I don't know his first name. I know his last name though. I just heard him talk about it on another podcast, and he talked about it with Josh Beam.
Okay.
And just the way he described it, just he used specific words that drew me closer to wanting to learn more about it.
Okay.
Such as like, I'm not teaching you a move, I'm teaching you an idea. Like, it's not a guard pass, it's not a Toriando or a knee cut. It's me forcing you to fight with one leg. So if I tell you how to fight with, you need to force them to fight with one leg. Now you're going to be more creative on your own. So the way he described the system itself, I was like, oh, I could get down with that. That's basically what we're doing already.
That's
what I like to focus on. You know, like stay to the outside. I'm not teaching you a slip or a specific move. Just stay to the outside. Don't stay in the middle on the center line of the punches.
Yeah. Okay. I was going to say, I've only seen it in like a jiu-jitsu context and a little bit in a jiu-jitsu context, but like I saw Josh Beam talking about it. He said he was training it.
Yeah, there's a book called The Constraints-Led Approach. I actually want to buy it because I think it can apply to multiple sports. Because when I hear the idea spoken like that, I'm like, oh, okay, we could apply that to almost anything.
Mm-hmm.
I think jiu-jitsu has helped my boxing teaching, and boxing has helped my jiu-jitsu. It's weird.
How so?
The footwork before you pull, the quickness of your jab can be used, just head movement, keeping your head off center so someone can't easily grab your head.
Okay.
And a lot of Muay Thai fighters use like the Thai plum when they're doing no-gi. So, you know, Bruce Lee said, take from each art and make it your own. So I kind of kept that in mind as a white belt because I was studying striking before jiu-jitsu.
How long have you been training jiu-jitsu? You're a brown belt now. You've had your brown belt for what, like a year? Less than a year.
Almost 2 years.
Okay.
I got my brown belt September 2022 on the podium.
Shit, that's right. Okay. Yeah, you've had it for a year.
If I don't know when I'll get black, but if I still have my brown belt in September, that'll make 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then how long have you been training?
7. So I got my brown belt in 5, and then this is like year 7 right now. Okay. I started 2017.
And then how long have you been boxing?
1 year before that.
Okay. What got you into it?
I just wanted to learn how to defend myself. I would always think about it, but I couldn't afford it. So when I left New York Sports Club, the first time I was working there, this guy named Ramon hired me at UFC gym. And I was like, I'm already working here. I might as well learn. So I started doing striking with them. I did a little Muay Thai, not like competitively or anything. And then I was just studying to just be able to protect myself. And then he kept saying, you need to learn jiu-jitsu. And I just would look in the cage and see like the break fall warm-ups. And I was like, I don't want to do that.
Nah.
And then he convinced me with an Anderson Silva video.
Triangling jail.
Yeah, that was I was like, what the hell just happened? And he was like, oh, that's jiu-jitsu. I'm trying to tell you to try it. And I was like, okay. So I started with no-gi and started fucking around. 6 months later, won third in my first tournament. And I was like, bet.
You're like, oh, I like this shit. That's cool. Did you start, so when you were teaching at UFC gym, when did you start teaching grappling? Was it in Atlanta?
No, it was in New York, but it wasn't like full-time teaching. It was like maybe my coach at the time was Andrew Franco. He's like a really good featherweight up north. He maybe like he'd have a tournament and like maybe he got injured or something and he couldn't, come because he was living in the Bronx and our school at the time was in Soho. So maybe he couldn't make it. So he'd be like, yo, Amon, I need you to run the no-gi morning class. So at first I would get scared when he would do that. And then I'm like, well, he's trusting me. So I was teaching classes, but I never had a full program until I got down here. And X3 gave me the full program for like a summer.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a purple belt at the time. So I really started teaching full-time at purple belt.
What did the teaching do to your actual ability? Like, how was it a noticeable difference from when you started teaching to your ability kind of taking off, or how do you feel? Because I've heard a bunch of people say like, hey, yeah, the best way to get better jiu-jitsu is to start teaching jiu-jitsu.
I agree with that, like 60%.
Okay.
It depends on how much teaching you're doing, because if your teaching overshadows your actual training and you're a full-time competitor, in my opinion, you're getting in the way of what you're preparing for. But you are absorbing more of the info because you have people in front of you saying, how does this work? Going back to being able to translate the technique to someone is just like, okay, I need to make you understand or help you understand it, help this person understand it. So I have to translate it to 5 different people. And now they're asking me so many questions where I'm just like, damn, do I actually know this technique? And you have to really, if you don't have the answer, you have to be comfortable enough to say, I don't know. I'm going to have to get back to you on that. So it forces you to be more confident in what you know. And then you want to apply it because you just taught these people how to do it. And, in the beginning, sometimes maybe you taught one detail wrong and then you have to adjust. So it definitely increased my teaching. Increased my ability to do the technique.
That's interesting.
As far as competing, I've been pretty comfortable competing most of my career because my coach couldn't always come with me to like New Jersey and stuff because he also had to teach on weekends. And we weren't in a position where the gym would pay you even though you were at a tournament. So I just would go and just scrap, go over, maybe catch a B&B, stay for like the weekend, and then have like really no coach at all.
Go hang out, compete by yourself, and then come back.
Yeah.
Do you have any sort of a different mindset, or does it feel different when you're competing without a coach there versus with?
I've done it so many. He was there when we were in New York, though.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, like whenever you're going and you're by yourself versus when you have a coach, like, is there a difference at all?
There's a difference. It's nice to hear, but at the end of the day, you're the one in the match, So I was just talking to a client about this today. They were like, what do you do when you see one thing, but your coach sees another? I'm like, well, you have to decide what feels better for you. Do you want to listen to what they said and possibly, like, if it goes wrong, you might be upset or resentful to them. If you decide on a decision, if you make a decision and then it goes wrong, it's on you. So it's like, which one are you more comfortable with at worst case scenario? So I don't really feel the difference, but I will say Master Worlds, when I was at Purple, if Coach Greg wasn't there, I would have gotten silver.
Gotcha.
Because he was like screaming at the top of his voice, like, man, you got to fucking go right now. And I was trying to sweep this kid. I think his name was Iniko or something. And he just felt like a rock. He was like just negating all my sweeps. And I was down on points. And Greg was just yelling at the top of his lungs. It was Greg, Crystal, Larissa, and I think Pete. A bunch of people just yelling. And Greg was just cursing. He's like, get the fuck up right now. You need a sweep. And I just wrestled up. The dude turned his back. I jumped on his back. I looked at the scoreboard. It looked like they didn't give me my points. I was like, fuck, I have to finish this guy. So I jumped the bow and arrow and put my knee behind his back. Long story short, they did give me the points, so I didn't have to finish him. But yeah, if Greg wasn't there yelling, I would have gotten second because I had a voice in my head like, he's too good. Like, I'm not going to win this match.
So voice in your
it does
like,
matter.
Nope, just
it
pack
matters.
it in.
Like,
that's nuts.
That unlocked a belief in myself from then on. I was like, oh yeah, like, it doesn't matter what the match feels like. If you just keep going, you can beat anybody.
Damn. How many, if you had to guess, how many competitions have you done jiu-jitsu?
I don't know competitions, but I know I have like 100 something matches over the years.
Holy shit. Okay.
I thought that was a lot. And then I started watching Josh Beams.
It's a psycho.
Bro, he's crazy.
He's in like 60 tournaments just at Blue Belt or something.
Yeah, I'm like, oh shit. You know, which is good. It's crazy on your body, but you just got to manage it properly. But I think I have like, by now, I have it like written in notes somewhere. It's probably like 150-ish.
150 matches.
Mm-hmm. Tournaments overall, I don't know. But on average, I'll do 1 to 2 tournaments a month if I average it over the years. Because I try not to count COVID, of course, because I didn't compete from 2020, January 2020 until September 2021.
Okay. If you had to boil it down, this is probably a stupid question. What's like the 2 or 3 biggest takeaways you've gotten from 150 some odd jiu-jitsu matches?
Takeaway number 1 is fake. It's just jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know if you were there the night Coach Brandon was like, it's not a tournament. It's jiu-jitsu. The ref, the score table is just the matrix. It's not real. It's just you and this other person, and all of this other stuff is theatrics. So one, it's not real. And if you can eliminate all those other things, which takes time, you have to experience the noise, and then before you know it, the noise is in the background. And then before you know it, the medal girls are the same at most of the tournaments. The referees are the same. So all these things start becoming normal. So it's all regular if you can do enough tournaments to normalize it. 2, it's just jiu-jitsu. Like, don't be down on yourself because you lost. You're still good. You went out there. Most people they were too frightened to even show up. People forget that. Like, you were brave enough to show up and step on the scale. And 3, don't kill yourself weight cutting because we don't do day before weigh-ins. Yeah.
What's the most weight you've ever cut?
5 pounds.
Day of 5 pounds?
Oh, day of? Oh, the most weight I've cut, day of 3. Yeah, I ate, what did I have? Ice cream and ramen. I was under the night before.
had some salt in the ramen and all of a sudden it blew up.
Yeah, it was OD. It was in Boston. And then like I had to do burpees like in the shower. I like had to in the bathroom with the shower steam going, like the hot water going. And I was late to the tournament, forgot my belt with Larissa, ended up having to call her with broken beat headphones. I couldn't hear her. Had to run up, get my belt, run down, wait in, and then the dude just triangled me in like a minute. And I was like, okay, guess we could go home on the Megabus now.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, 5 pounds though. But I don't cut anymore.
I was about to say, you walk around at like what, like 140 something?
145 now. Before I was cutting down to 138. Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Well, really 137. But it's life wasn't fun. Like outside of jiu-jitsu. Because I don't like being that small. I feel good at 145. I fit my clothes better and I'm just happier. And also I get injured less in training. And I have more options for my training partners. So 145 is where it's at. But I have room to grow though. The limit on my current weight class is 154 and a half. In the gi.
That's a big weight. I guess it's only 9 pounds.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, the gi's almost 3. So the most anyone's going to weigh over me is like 5 to 8. And then in no gi, the limit is 149. So I'm not that far off. But my goal is to go up to like 151 and then just cut 2, which will be easy.
Yeah, that's cake.
Yeah.
Back to the personal training side of stuff.
Yeah.
So how do you move down here, you start getting some clients coming in from the X3 thing, but it's like you're always posting, you always have like packed out classes. And we were talking before about like the online trainers or whatever. Where it's
like, you never really know what's going on.
What is it that you think you could take? Like if you were sitting there and you were talking with someone that was like just getting into training, like they're like a brand new trainer, they walk into X3 and they're like, okay, like I'm in good shape. I know how to exercise. I think I want to show people how to exercise. Like, what would you boil it down to? Like, hey, look, here's what you have to do. Well, obviously the communication on the client side, but here's how you can like grow your actual, like the business, like your book of business.
Oh, have a lot of conversations.
Okay.
One of my mentors at the gym, his name's Tony Tucci. He told me that. Like he sat me down. I was with him for like the first 2 weeks I was down here. And one of the main things he told me is if you want to sell personal training, just have a lot of conversations. Because it's not like I just shouldn't have to prove to you that I'm a good trainer. Most of the time they like you because of who you are. And then you like there's a gym full of trainers. They can pick anyone. We're all good because we all got hired for a reason. But just have conversations, and if they vibe with you, then they're picking you. It's a relationship more than anything. Like you can pick any trainer with 5-star reviews and then you'll get a great workout, but will you have good convo in between? Do they make you feel good? Like, do you bounce off each other? You know, would you invite that person to hang out with you? Or was it just, you know? So
yeah,
I would say just have more conversations and see who you fit with. You know, a lot of people I fit with are like martial artists and people who think of bigger pictures. I had a guy start with me because he wanted to learn the skill to teach to his kids, you know? So like he was thinking bigger picture there. So I was like, this is perfect because I don't want you to need me. I want to teach you the skill. So I would say have a lot of conversations and do the whatever they call it in your job, like the onboarding lesson. That's what they call it. It's
okay.
Like just give them out and don't have any expectations, because expectations tend to lead to disappointments. I feel like
it's like open houses in real estate.
Yeah, just do you just get your reps. Really, that's what it is. Get your reps, because every time you do an intro session, you get more sharp. You're like, okay, I'm gonna do this first instead of that piece first, or maybe this person isn't really focused on numerical goals, so I'm just gonna take them out and focus on their athletic goals. You have to know what they want and actually be honest if you can help them. I had a lady with like a hip replacement, and I'm like, I don't have my corrective exercise cert, so I'm not gonna help you. I'm really would just be stealing your money, so I'm gonna pass you off to this trainer over here who works very well with people like that. I'm good with like people who need the basics and to sharpen their basics and their efficiency of movement, which is hard to describe still. It's like I can see what someone's doing wrong in their movement and tell them, oh, put your big toe here. And then they're like, oh, shit, how'd you see that? And I'm still trying to articulate that to this day.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird. But I see movement really well, and I'm getting better at articulating it.
So sitting there and seeing where the inefficiencies are in people's...
Yeah. Sometimes you have to say, try this. Try to shift your weight here and then move. But it also takes... Oh, another thing for a new trainer, like do the workout yourself. A lot of trainers try to do the hardest workout, and you could tell sometimes like, dude, I know you don't do this on your own. You know? Like do it to yourself. Then you can understand cues, and you can understand, okay, maybe this person should do 8 reps with this amount of weight. So actually feel it in your own body. Because sometimes 2 workouts next to each other isn't the best. Maybe you need to put something in between. But you wouldn't know that unless you felt it in your own body. Like, so you give like a person too many... Like if I give someone bicycle crunches and then a leg extension and then flutter kicks, their lower back is going to be going crazy. It's like maybe do a sit-up in there, maybe throw a plank in there and separate it, because even me, you give me all those, I'm going to be like, oh, shit. Like, let me stretch real quick. So
I was about to say they're not sitting there thinking through like, oh yeah, there's other muscles that are getting worked and there's other muscles getting strained, and then those are going to be the point of failure instead of the muscle that we're actually trying to work on.
Exactly.
That's interesting. The repetition thing is funny because I was telling Tristan, a dude that I've worked with a little bit, like he's been running open houses with me. And I'm like, look, if you just go and run open houses, you get repetitions talking to people, sitting there saying, you know, just different client interactions. You get a better idea for like, hey, look, these are the different types of people. And you like, this is kind of fucked up to say, you can start to like compartmentalize people in like some capacity. It's like, okay, this is someone like attorneys and engineers have a very particular way about buying houses where it's like, they are going to agonize over every single light item in a contract. And they are going to be so particular about everything. This thing I was at this morning, he's a great guy to work with. I love working with him, but he's an engineer and he's super particular. And it's like to him, and he's spending $750,000 on a house, so it's a big deal. He's like, no, I don't want the surround sound speakers coming out of the ceiling. I want them coming out of the built-in bookshelves on the side. And it's like, that's a big deal to him versus me. I'm like, who gives a shit? Like, I don't care. But it's like, you can start to say like, okay, and I've worked with a handful of engineers now, and it's like, most of them are like that in some capacity. So it's like, okay, oh, he's an engineer. Okay, I need to talk to him in this particular way or like interact with him in this particular way so that he has the best possible experience with this. Yeah. Because it's like, I know how he's going to digest the information versus if I go, you know, and who can I think of? Like an artist, okay? Like an artist is buying a house. If I sit there and start like agonizing over line items in a contract with them, they're probably going to get like a glazed look over their eye. Be like,
they're more free, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's like they're going to go in and be like, oh, okay, I kind of like the feel of this place. I like the look of it. That's the price. Okay, let's like work on that, but let's figure it out. Versus an engineer is going to like sit there and have their spreadsheet of like, okay, well, this should cost approximately this much to get done, and my ROI when I exit the home. And
yeah, I mean, I don't think it's fucked up. Like, you do have to know what type of people you're working with, you know? You don't want to like generalize them, but it is what it is, you know?
I was going to say, different personality types like exist for a reason. So you can sit there and be like, okay, I need to communicate with this person differently than I would communicate with them. That's got to be applicable to a lot of shit. That does make me think more about how Brandon's able to boil it down, because not only is he able to boil it down, he boils it down to a way where you don't wind up with like 15 different people asking questions or asking him to explain it again. It's like he's in a room teaching to 40 or 50 people.
Yeah. And he's seen it so many times. He's like, this is the most common mistake. And you're like, I definitely have made that mistake.
Yeah. Literally. He's like, don't put your foot here. Wrap it around like their hip like that, whatever. Mm-hmm. And you're like, oh, shit. Okay. That does make it a lot easier.
He's been around the game so long, just like, it's like an encyclopedia.
I had a baseball coach one time, and the assistant coach was describing the head coach. And he said he has forgotten more about baseball than any of us know put together. Than all of us know put together. That's what I feel about that motherfucker.
Yeah.
He like sits there and just starts like going down a rabbit hole. But yeah, that's got to be interesting on I wonder how he learned how to boil it down that way. Probably the same thing, right? Just through teaching. He
said he watched a lot of tape, you know, teaching as well. And he's around solid mentors. He's around John as well. So it's like, he probably studied a few things as far as, you know, you borrow certain cues in teaching. You know what I mean? Like, just certain pieces of someone's teaching style. Like a lot of the guys from the Blue Basement have this weird frequency about their teaching where they just can break it down to where you get it within the first few tries. And it's kind of weird. Like sometimes like, he'll be covering a specific technique, and then you see a guy from Henzo's who's maybe like across the country also covering it, and they just posted. It's like, that's weird. We were just doing that tonight, and then an hour after class, he posted. You know, so it's like, I think, you know, it's not just the Blue Basement, of course, but I think his background and whoever his mentors were helped create what he's doing right now as well. But in his own way.
I wonder if have you ever taken one of John's classes?
Not yet. I mean, it'd probably be hard to access him now.
Yeah. I'd be so curious to see how he teaches. Because I'm just thinking, one of the things that I've seen a lot is like really, really intelligent people generally can have a really hard time boiling stuff down because their head is just like going at a crazy level. But it's like to be that smart and then also to be able to like, okay, now I'm going to condense all of it down, which is probably like the highest form of intelligence, I guess, I would think.
Yeah, you have to dumb it. Oh, not, well, it's sad to say,
Simplify
dumb
it.
it down.
Dumb
Yeah,
it down, simplify it,
down. Yeah. And that's the same thing, translating it to how they understand it. Like some people understand, like some kids, if I say hip escape, they'll know what I mean because of maybe another school they came from. But if I say shrimp, they'll get it.
That's weird.
Some people, if I say, okay, we're doing toe touch kicks, they're like, what? If I'm like, we're doing Frankensteins. Oh, boom, boom. Reaching, touching my toes. You would think
people would be able to settle on like one name.
Nope.
For just basic.
That's a big thing in
basic
fitness.
Ass movements. For basic, it's like that's basic. Everyone does.
We have that problem all the time in this class. Well, not anymore, but there's this class called Power Track.
Okay.
And like if I call a move a pistol curl or something, and the nighttime coach doesn't know what that is, they're gonna have to either YouTube it. Hopefully it's on YouTube. Hopefully other people call it that, or they're just gonna have to.
What the fuck is a pistol curl?
It's a like a hammer curl, but with a kettlebell.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I learned that move from Mechanic Muscle Mike from Elite Edge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he gave those to me when I went over there to train with them.
I was gonna say that.
Great gym, by the way.
Elite Edge.
Shout out to Elite Edge.
I've never gone.
It's good. You would like it. Go on strength day. You'll feel fucking jacked. That was the most jacked I've ever felt in my life.
What time is that at?
There's a 5:30 a.m.
No.
It's in Duluth, I think.
It's in Duluth?
Yeah, it's deep.
5:30 in the morning in Duluth? Get fucked.
It's easy to get there.
No.
It's harder to get there in the afternoon. They have classes like 6 times a day.
Really?
Yeah, something like that.
Dude, I haven't even really been lifting lately.
No?
No.
I love lifting now.
I used to lift a ton. I don't know. It's gotten kind of boring for me.
Why?
Well,
you've probably been doing it a little bit.
Yeah. I got bored. I've been doing a bunch of like
before.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't start lifting for real until I hurt my knee last year. And I couldn't do anything lower body. So I was like,
fuck it. Get
and
jacked.
I couldn't teach kickboxing. Couldn't teach boxing. So I was teaching upper body day twice a week and Power Track over at X3. So I was like, I guess I'm going to do the workout with y'all. And then I really started like, oh shit, okay.
Yeah.
Started doing 1 rep max, shit like that.
Yeah, dude. Like Nick Sherry said something to me. He was like, you're strong, but he was like, you got to figure out how to unlock that for like a jiu-jitsu context. And I was
yeah, because you can't just, I mean, you could deadlift someone, but it's not the same.
I'm not about to try and deadlift someone.
Trap bar. I think trap bar translates well to jiu-jitsu.
Probably. Yeah.
Trap bar.
I'm going to this place called Functional Patterns. They do the weirdest shit ever. I'm trying to get Michael, one of the dudes that I train with up there, to come down here.
Do like single leg stuff and like.
Dude, I don't even know how to begin to describe the shit that they have.
Unilateral, is that what you call it?
Dude, yeah, where it's like.
I'm not a textbook trainer.
Bro, actually, can I pull up? Oh, no, I don't think I'm on the Wi-Fi.
Oh, no.
This is probably going to be fucking horrific to listen to. Let me see if I can find anything on YouTube about it.
You need a Jamie.
Bro, you think I got the budget for that shit? Get out of here. I need a laptop connected to the internet, and then we'll do that. I was telling Dan and Nick Sherry, I was like, we need to do like a group podcast or something, and there can be like 2, 3, 4 of us in here, and then we can have a fucking laptop, and someone that's not talking can be like pulling shit up. All right, the service is shit. No, it's honestly like a weird combination. It's not, I don't want to say it's like yoga because they work with a lot of yogis who are like fucked up. But basically it's their kind of philosophy is getting stronger, doing certain weightlifting exercises will not make you move better. If I learn how to deadlift more weight, that will not make me more efficient running. Like I will not run better. That. But they're like, if I can strengthen all of the muscles and all of the asymmetries that will make me run better, it might not make me stronger deadlifting, but it will I will still be getting more muscle. I will be fixing the way that I move, and I won't lose like my strength from deadlifting.
Oh,
I haven't
okay.
done like a traditional weightlifting workout in like months. Probably like 3 or 4 months right now.
What's it called?
Functional Patterns.
Functional Patterns. Okay.
It's like up in Alpharetta. It's up there. It's actually in the same building of a guy that I used to train with named Charlie Morris.
That was like your trainer?
Yeah, when I was in high school.
Okay.
Well, for a portion of when I was in high school. And he runs a wrestling school called MF Wrestling. Morris Fitness Wrestling. Charlie's a funny motherfucker. I love that, man. I think Rachel actually went up there and like wrestled at one of his things.
Oh, maybe that's what she's talking about. She's been telling me about a wrestling class up there.
Yeah, she goes. I think she was telling me like probably 2 or 3 weeks ago that she like took. Oh, it was at the NFC fights.
Yeah, she did it right before because we were at the same seminar. She's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go to wrestling class after this, and then NFC." I was like, "Damn, she's getting active."
Yeah,
but it paying off. She did double gold this weekend.
Bro, Rachel busts her ass.
Yeah,
it's so funny seeing people like what people will like gravitate to jiu-jitsu, where it's like they'll jump into it and then it's like they're obsessed with it.
Yeah, I remember when she first started. I met her in Lenny's class. It was crazy.
That's what I'm saying.
I would have never guessed. She was like, "Oh, I don't know anything." Like, I remember Lenny paired me with. She's like, "I'm sorry, I don't know anything." I'm like, "Just do what you remember." And then now, fast forward, she's like, silver and Euros, double gold, Atlanta Open. It's like, what the hell
Dude,
happened?
it's fucking cool. I was talking to Dan about it. I was like, I vividly remember the day Austin Saxon started.
Really?
Because he came in and he was saying, he was like, "Oh yeah, like I like playing chess." And I said to Dan, I was like, that motherfucker is going to be really good, really quick.
Yeah, y'all were there before me. Yeah. Did you start? You said 2021 you started? Did you tell me that?
2020.
Oh, so yeah, you guys were well before me.
I started November of 2020.
Nice.
November, December of 2020. Yeah. I literally started at Odyssey like by accident. I was trying to take Muay Thai because I trained Muay Thai a little bit. I trained jiu-jitsu for 3 months in college. I blew my shoulder out. A dude was trying to put a side triangle on me.
Oh, like the step over?
Yeah, and he like fucked up and caught my shoulder weird, and he squeezed and it popped my shoulder.
Damn.
And it partially tore my labrum. And I was like, well, this sucks. And so I quit training jiu-jitsu. I got it fixed. And then I started training Muay Thai. And then COVID happened and the school I was at shut down for a while. Then I came back. I moved to Atlanta. I went to ATT and took like an intro class at ATT, like over off Cheshire Bridge. I was like, okay, cool. And I went back the next day to sign up and like keep going. And they shut down for like 2 weeks because they had a COVID outbreak. And I was like, I don't want to fucking sit around and twiddle my thumbs for 2 weeks. And so I just like went online and started looking for Muay Thai classes. And Odyssey popped up because there was like a Muay Thai class on the schedule. And it was like, they were like the 4th or 5th page that I clicked on. But I clicked on the homepage and I saw a fucking picture of Lenny sitting next to John Danaher and Greg sitting next to Marcelo. And like, I knew enough about grappling just from watching MMA. And I was like, oh shit, I want to go learn from them.
Yeah.
Like, fuck Muay Thai. And
that's actually a crazy mix. I didn't even know that when I got down here. But when I found out, I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I just know Greg was training with one of my old coaches from White Belt.
Really?
Alex Masters guy. They were training together. And then he was like, oh shit, you train with Alex? And then I was like, yeah. But I had no idea about the Danaher stuff until I started training. I was like, oh, nice.
Yeah. But
it was right up the block from work, so that was an easy choice for me.
Yeah, it's easy. It's so fucking cool seeing how big it's gotten.
Was it hard for you to get back after like, because most people, they'd be like, fuck that, I got hurt. I don't want to do this thing anymore. But you like tore a shoulder and came back.
No, it wasn't hard.
What got you to come back?
I mean, I'd fucked my shoulder up before playing baseball, so it's just like, all right, I'll just get it fixed. Okay. Like the reason I quit playing baseball is because I tore my labrum, got it fixed. Then I fucked it up again and I was going to need another surgery. And I was like 20 at that point. I was like, fuck this, I'm done. So like I'd already had surgery before and I was just like, I'm really, really stubborn. So I was like, I want to learn how to fight. Like I trained Muay Thai a little bit in high school. I had to stop because I was playing baseball and I was like, it was bothering my elbow when I was pitching. Just like the like striking aspect of it, like striking and then throwing a baseball was just tweaking with my elbow. And I was like, well, I'm not going to fight Muay Thai. I want to try and play college baseball. I'll stick with baseball. So then when all that ended, I was like, I still want to learn how to fight. And so then I started and I was like, well, I'm not just going to fucking throw the towel in and be like, oh, well, I don't want to.
Which camera can I look into? Dallas Blanton is actually good as fucking jiu-jitsu.
That's
motherfuckers.
He's
good. He has a mean darts.
That is a lie.
He will fuck you up. All right. I see people try to like turn up on you sometimes in class when I'm like on the side. I've seen you sub a few people. Okay.
I'll take that after last night and Eldon fucked me up for 2 rounds in a row.
I mean, Eldon's an assassin. But yeah, I've seen people try to turn up on you are an OG of Brandon's Garage. People don't know that.
Yeah.
So it's like when I see you like sauce them up, I'm like, yeah, this is just not this is not just real estate and podcast, buddy. Fuck you up.
That is very gracious. Yeah. I do not feel that way most of the time.
I mean,
I wish I could train more. Like, it'd be nice to be able to like train more consistently, but it's just like,
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you give Dallas like a good, give him a good 3 weeks in a row, just loosen up that,
Dude, that's like the goal right now. Is like, I would love to be able to be in Atlanta for like 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
But
you're always leaving out of town, right?
Yeah. I got back Sunday night. I was in Tampa for work. Then I was in Dallas for work. Then I got back Sunday night. I leave next weekend for the weekend. Then I'm back for a week. Then I leave for a week and a half. Then I'm back for 2 weeks. Then I'm gone for a week, like a weekend. Like, it's just like in and out and in and out. And when I'm here, it's all over the place. It's just fucking inconsistent.
That's how black belt is going to be, because you have to qualify for majors. And so if there's no Atlanta Open,
yeah.
And that's one thing I realized last year. I think I did the most close-knit traveling, like Dallas, for Nogi, Pans, and then up to New York. And then I just left Vegas, and I was like, bro, and I almost got sick like twice. And I'm like, how do people do this shit?
Bro, you get sick as fuck traveling.
Like, what is the secret? Like, do you have like a cocktail that you like, a vitamin C thing you do? Because I was like, bro, and the weather change fucks me up bad.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do that shit.
Dude, I get sick.
I'm going to have to do it.
I get sick a good bit. I was in Vegas in February for this builder show. Bro, I got the sickest I've ever been in my entire life when I came back. I was like dead for like a week and a half.
So is that just part of the game?
What the fuck are you going to do?
Like, what do musicians do when they have to sing and they're, you know what I mean?
Dude, I don't understand how those fuckers do it, because not only they're singing, they're also going out being like abject degenerates at night. And then they're waking up at like 8 a.m. flying to a new city. I don't understand. They got to be on some shit.
Yeah.
They got to be taking like some peptides or I don't know.
You have to be, because that's not human.
It's not good for you. I was like, I have no clue if this is true or not, but it was on the internet and the internet's never lied. So it was these people, and they were saying that actually what apparently is really, really bad about traveling has to do with the pressurization that they go to in the cabin on the plane. So like, you're at 30,000 feet. I think they pressurize the cabin to like 6,000 feet, 7,000 feet, something like that. So you're still like at a higher altitude, like the interior of the plane, but on like a private jet, which is apparently, this is why some people will have them or rent them. It's pressurized like 2,000 feet. So a lot of the jet lag is apparently negated from being like pressurized at a lower altitude.
So if you can afford that, then you can ultimately maybe be healthier.
It's really cheap, dude. It's only like $20,000 an hour.
20?
Bro, to charter like a nice private jet's like 20 grand an hour, I think. 15 grand an hour. Like, that's an insane amount of money. Here, I'm gonna look this shit up right now.
That's crazy.
It's preposterous.
I mean, it's crazy until you have that, and then you're like, okay, we're taking a private jet.
How much is it to charter me spelling out loud because I am illiterate.
Well, you can, I mean, ultimately your trip is faster, right? Because you're not in that line. So, and you're not going in circles.
You have no TSA. You have no wait. You pull up to the terminal. Literally, your car pulls up to the fucking plane. You walk out of the car onto the plane, taxi on the runway, take off. So
I wonder how fast a flight actually is on a private jet from Atlanta.
Oh, I was so off.
Is more?
Still, it's 35. This says 3,500 to 18,000 an hour.
That's a big range.
Yeah. I'm thinking the 3,500 is if you get like a tiny little Cessna.
Yeah.
Which is to charter a 200 person plane. Okay. If you want to charter a Boeing 757, it's 19,800 per hour. That is ridiculous. That'd be sick though. You know how much fun that would be if you were just like rich, didn't give a shit about anything. You're like, I'm going to throw a party on a plane. We're going to spend $100,000 to fly around and get fucked up for 5 hours in the sky. It'd be a fun time.
Yeah. Hopefully no one brings a gun. Fucking put a hole in that shit.
Hopefully not.
Yeah.
Dude,
I think about shit like that. Like,
People are crazy.
Not the worst thing, but I'm like, damn, hopefully no one does this. I hope this doesn't happen.
Yeah, but that's probably safe to think about. Dude, there's crazy motherfuckers. Dude, I had a client one time. She was a long-haul flight attendant. She was a Korean lady. Long-haul flight attendant, and she would do the Atlanta to Seoul flights. She would speak Korean, natural pairing. She had
Seoul, that's a place?
Seoul, South Korea.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
never heard of that. Seoul.
It's just the capital of Korea.
Okay.
No significance other than that. And she would be one of the flight attendants. She was one of the lead flight attendants. They had like an 80-something-year-old dude that they put on this flight by himself that had never left his like small town in Korea to go visit his family, I think in like North Carolina. This dude is 80-something years old and senile. At 30,000 feet over the Atlantic or Pacific Ocean, Jesus Christ, he decides he wants to get fresh air.
Oh, fuck.
The lady that was my client was about 4'10", 4'11". And this man stands up and is like, oh, like, and he's kind of like in and out of it. And is like, I just want to get some fresh air. Like, I've been sitting down for a while. And she's like, sir, you can't do that. We're 30,000 feet over the Pacific Ocean. Like, you'll kill everyone on this plane if you open that door. And he like shoves her, like puts her on the ground. And this 80-some-odd-year-old man had to be restrained by like 2 male flight attendants.
Oh, I thought that story was going to go more south. I'm glad he
No, he was like going for the door. Like he like shoved her and was like started walking over to the door and they fucking like grabbed him. And
old man strength is real.
I don't know what causes that. You're the personal trainer.
Old man strength?
Yes.
I mean, some people are going to be like, there's always like things that get debunked. But I think it's real. I don't know. Maybe it's like their anger towards the world builds up in their bones. I don't know. Like the uncles with the big ass hands that been working on shit around the house so much and their just hands morph.
Yeah.
They got like sausage fingers. I think old man strength and dad strength is real.
Dude, I've seen videos of where you'll have like these construction workers, people that are just doing manual labor that like don't lift, and they'll go into a gym and move like an impressive amount of weight.
Yeah, caveman strength.
I want caveman strength. I feel like that'd be very fitting. Dude, the hands thing is weird. Like I met a dude when I was in Tampa and I like shook his hand and his hands were just fucking dense.
Bro,
like they were like thick ass hands and I was like, bro, what the fuck?
You pray they don't punch you.
Yeah, because if he hits, that's going to be a cinder block.
Yeah, it's weird.
How much, since you teach boxing, how much of punching power is just genetic? Do you think?
Like power, I think you can gain a significant. I mean, I'll be open. I don't have that many athletes, so I'm still fairly new in the game. I still have mentors that I speak to and ask questions about. Yeah. But as far as power, I think a lot of it is genetic because some people are more dense than others. Even like when I spar with some of the kids, some of them just feel more dense. I don't know if it's their diet or their genetics, Who were your parents? Were your parents athletes? What were you doing? What were you being fed? So I don't have like statistics on it, but I feel like a good amount. I can't give you a number, but I think some people just are born with more power. You think they just touch you and fucking you're gonna feel it.
Do you think over 50% of the power that a person has is genetic? Or it's like, I'm trying to think about how to word this. It's like, what percentage of power? What percentage of power, so out of 100% of the total possible power that a person can generate in a punch, from that, do you think like 70% is genetic and 30% is technique?
70 because if it was that easy to get by now with all the technology we have, everyone would have power and not everyone does.
Yeah.
Some people can take a punch, some people can't. So I think over 70 is genetic, I would say.
You think the chin's genetic too? Interesting.
Or depending on how many times you get knocked out. Because you see in the UFC, like you catch a few bad ones and after that, all of a sudden, damn, this guy got knocked out again.
People get chinny, like real quick. I always knew people could get chinny because like you can tell it's like someone gets one real bad knockout, then someone gets clipped and you're like, they just like the lights shut off. It's like their brain being like protective of their.
Yeah, that's what they say, right? So I wouldn't be surprised. But power is, I think it has to be genetic because people complain about like their grips in jiu-jitsu a lot. And I've never had that problem. And then guys in like light feather and even feather always tell me like I'm one of the strongest guys they fight. And I don't like lift an insane amount of weight. And my grips are really hard to break. And I never did like grip training.
Yeah.
So I think just genetically, I have good grips.
Eldon has freakish grip strength.
Does he?
I hate that. It's obnoxious as shit. If Eldon gets a collar grip, it's there.
You were his first purple belt roll.
Really?
I asked him last night. We were cleaning the gym.
I love you, Eldon.
Yeah. I was like, who was your first roll? He was like, Dallas. I was like,
we trained last night. And then after the first round, Greg was like, switch. And Eldon was like, no, we're doing this again. And I was like, oh, Christ. That's what sucks. Motherfuckers will like come up and be like, oh, hey, man, you want to roll? And I was talking to Dan about this. He's like, oh, like, who'd you train with? Because me and him, I forget when it was. We were like sitting there talking after training. He's like, oh, who'd you roll with? I was like, fucking Michael Kravetsky, Will, Eldon.
oh, damn.
Austin.
It's because you're so big.
Keith, purple belt Matt.
Coach Matt?
No.
Oh, purple belt Matt Gipe.
Gipe. I didn't know. I don't know his last name. I
teach there. I know.
I just know he body shames me. He walked up to me. Bro, I've told so many people about this. He walked up to me just out of nowhere. First thing I see, he walks up to me, grabs my arm and goes, oh, so you quit lifting? Just straight faced. I was like, bro, I'm going to go find some rope, a beam, and a chair.
He's just trying to be more functional. Can a man be more functional?
Oh my God, dude. The fucking body dysmorphia is just getting worse.
They want to roll you because you're what, 220?
215, yeah.
250, yeah.
I'm like the small cusp of the big people.
Yeah, because Kravetsky's like 270, some shit.
That man's a gorilla.
Do you roll with Ruben?
No, not really.
Okay.
I did for a while. I haven't in a while. Dude, the first time I ever rolled with Ruben, he'd been training for like 3 months and we were doing back attack stuff. And he started on my back and it was like, I could not get him off of me. And I was like, what?
That man's an athlete.
None of this. That's the thing, man. You see some people and it's like, oh, you're genetically gifted. Like this is what, there's always like people that's like, anything's possible with hard work and dedication. You're a fucking liar. Because no matter how hard you work, you will never be that man. You will never be someone that played outside linebacker at Michigan and West Virginia.
Yeah, there's
genetics
that
are real.
Saying, what is it? Hard work beats talent. But if you add hard work and talent, you lost. Sorry.
And there are some motherfuckers that are so genetically gifted, so talented. John Jones.
Yeah.
It's like he can fuck off, do coke, drunk drive, show up, have a bender the week before the fight, show up and strangle you unconscious in front of your friends and family, and then go do it again.
Meant to do it.
That's what I'm saying, man. And it's like you got to find whatever your natural shit is and lean into it because there's a lot of people. It's like, I'm going to be a fighter, and you have absolutely no pop on your punches. It's like, no,
everyone says that. Oh man, so many people come into MMA gyms saying that.
Really?
You just have to be patient because it's part of the business.
Do you see, okay, when you're working for the UFC gym, do you see more people that come in that are like the I'm going to see red bro type?
Yeah, because part of like, I don't want to say screening, but part of the initial questioning, I don't fucking know.
Fucking narc.
Yeah.
I'm on the suit, fed, confirmed.
Oh, shit.
You were posting all that shit on your Instagram story about, trying to figure out who's getting promoted.
Oh, the sandbaggers? Yeah, it's an open investigation. I got some questions for a couple of y'all.
Sounds like Fed activity to me, but
yeah, tapping iPhones, looking into WhatsApps and all that stuff.
Dude, that'd be sick if I could tap iPhones. That'd be so fun.
You'd see a lot of dark shit, I bet. People don't like deleting photos. They're like, how'd that get there? Yeah. But one of the questions is, like, how do you have any experience?
Oh, boy.
And people be like, yeah, like, I had this many street fights. And you're like, okay, so 0.
They take that personally?
Yeah. Like, it doesn't count. Street fights don't count.
Do you have any street fights?
Does school count as a street fight?
Sure.
Or street, like, in the streets?
Sure.
In the streets, 2. School, like, 4 or so.
What's your record?
I've lost all of them.
Oh, you lost all of them?
I won probably one, which it doesn't really count. I don't count it. It wasn't fighting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was just like y'all shoving each other.
It was just defending what you think is right, and it didn't last too long. It's not like anyone got the shit beat out of them. But majority of the time, like by the time it was broken up, I was never like a fighter,
yeah.
which is why I wanted to learn how to box, just to be able to defend myself. Because it's kind of weird coming up in New York City, not being able to defend yourself and being conscious of that, you know?
Gotcha.
Like, you could fight all you want, but I wanted to be like, my brain was always more towards the technical side. So I wanted to actually know what I was doing. Because you could tell the way people put up their hands. You're like, yeah, you could kind of fight, but you can't throw an efficient jab.
Fucking swinging from the bleachers.
Yeah. So it's a little, not too good on the street fight record. But no.
Hey.
Willing to run it back.
I was about to say, knowing what you know now, it's like, all right, now I want to fucking
just
rematch on all of them.
Yeah, for real. Just inbox me. We can set it up. Sign the waiver.
Sign the waiver, show up to Odyssey. We'll make it a super fight.
I got extra gloves, wraps. No, just kidding. Love everybody. The more you learn this shit, the less you want to hurt people.
Yeah. I was talking to Reese Watkins about it.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, I don't fight.
Bro, Reese is a beast. He showed up to open mat the day after his match.
Reese is a scary motherfucker.
Yeah.
I was sitting there talking to him, and it was like, before he was like very laid back, and then I was like, "Yo, what's it like to what swinger gets swung?" And he started talking about it, and then I asked him some question about what it felt like to connect and like feel the person, like their legs go, or something about feeling the person break, and his fucking eyes lit up, and I was like, "Oh, I found what he's fucking passionate about." Fucking scary human, dude.
Nice knee, by the way. I like that knee.
God damn, that was sexy.
I was so happy. I waited for that match. I was like, "Oh shit." I need to see this. Need to see this match.
That whole event was fucking chaos.
It was crazy.
The dude that he's fighting now was fucking next to me in Austin and was like talking so much shit.
Is that what that was about?
Dude, that motherfucker apparently like went backstage and was like trying to pick a fight with him. Like before Reese's fight, was like trying to get in his locker room and talk shit. It was just like a fucking...
That part of the industry is weird to me. Like, we're already going to fight. Why are you trying to fight now?
Without getting paid.
Yeah, like, you're gonna mess this whole thing up for us. Just stay calm. Even internet beef with martial artists is weird. Like, you guys know you could just fight and settle. You could just fight for the bread and this will all be over with.
I was gonna say,
nobody wants to do that. It's weird.
Everyone wants to talk a big game, and then when it comes down, it's like, okay, now sign a fucking waiver and let's go fight. Like, well, you know.
Especially in jiu-jitsu, it's like, just fight. If you actually have a problem with someone, put up a certain amount of money and just fight them. Or shut up.
I haven't seen anyone in Atlanta do that, but I know there's a bunch of people that'll do like wager fights, right? Like I know Gordon's always posting like, I'll put $100,000
up.
Up
The bread, you know?
That seems like a really easy way.
Back, I mean, I'm sure they say everywhere, just like, play me for the bread. As far as hooping, it's like, play me for the bread. Or stop talking shit. It's like, oh, you're nice? Okay, $50. Game 11.
Let's see who's
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, that'll settle everything. You don't forget losing money in a game.
You lost money playing basketball in New York?
I never bet money before.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't believe in myself. No. I was okay, though. Some people would disagree.
What neighborhood did you grow up in
Jamaica, Queens.
Jamaica, Queens?
Yeah. But I went to school, so public school and middle school was Jamaica, Queens. Technically Baisley, but it's all like a huge area just divided up into little sub-neighborhoods. And then I went to high school in Chelsea, Manhattan.
That's a fucking long train.
That was basically the full E-train ride. So last stop in Jamaica, and I took a bus before that, all the way to 14th Street. So after 14th, you probably got West 4th, Canal, or something in the middle, and then the last stop, World Trade Center. So yeah, I was like 4 stops away from the last stop on the east. So it was about an hour or so for high school. But
each way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it built a lot of character. Because I had to learn how to travel on my own. I started having friends of different backgrounds and shit like that.
How did you wind up in high school in Chelsea when you were living in Queens?
My mom helped me pick it out, actually. It was called New York City Museum School.
Okay. And
they had a partnership with all the... I don't want to say all because I didn't know at the time as a kid, but I would assume like 90% of the museums they had a partnership with throughout the whole city. So literally we had a field trip every week throughout the semester for 4 years where we would go. It's small classes, like 20 kids probably.
Holy shit.
And we would just go, like, let's say we're studying religion. We'd go to a mosque this week, synagogue this week, church this week, like the Holy Trinity Church that's in the city somewhere. I forget where it's at, but it was a cool school. So my mom helped me pick that one out. My first pick was like Thomas Edison, because I was like, I thought I was interested in cars at the time, or at least like technology. And I didn't get accepted to Edison. So they probably still do it. So if you don't get accepted to your pick, then you go to what's called your zone school, which is generally not good if you're living like in Jamaica, Queens. Like, so I ended up just going to museum school instead.
So you're applying for public high schools. There are public high schools in New York?
Yeah, they have like tests and stuff that you take, and then you apply to them. They're kind of public, I guess.
It's like a charter school or a magnet school?
In a sense, because classes are really small. Most of the time you get like classes of 30, 35, like big classes. This was small, like 20 kids. Like my graduating class was probably 80 of us.
Holy shit.
Just, yeah.
Oh, when you mean small, you mean like grade classes?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like like class, let's say there's 4 ninth grade classes, 901, 902, 903, 904. That's your class, like your group. And there's 20 of us. Class 901, Amon, and these other 19 kids.
I thought you meant it was like you would go to like art class and there would be 20 kids in there, and then you would have 20 different kids in like a math class or whatever. But you're saying it's like the 20. Same little.
Yeah. So like I got art with you, me, you, and 18 others. And then we got science.
We're
together.
all going to science.
Yeah. And then later on, they started like mixing it. So maybe you had things at different times, but we'd all have gym together. We would all have this together.
That's wild.
It was really good. It was good.
So basically your mom's like, hey, look, you're going to apply and go to one of these, or try and go to like a nicer high school.
Yeah,
than the one
I
that
didn't understand at the time, but I mean, it was a great pick. She knew what she was doing. I don't know how she found it. I never really asked her, but yeah, it was a great pick. It changed my life.
That's fucking cool,
At the time, I was like traveling all the way to the city, had friends in the Bronx, had friends uptown. I met people a lot of my friends were from Brooklyn, so I started really understanding like the city itself. And then in summertime, we would hoop together. So they'd come out to Queens. I'd meet them up and go to Brooklyn and hoop. So it was a good experience for 4 years in high school, going to Chelsea. You learn a lot about the city.
I was going to say, that's what's always been so crazy to me about New York is it's not one city.
Yeah, people like to put it together, but it's all these sub cities. Like you could really like grow up in Queens and not have to leave the borough. Now there's like 2-3 malls, plenty of places to eat. You really don't have to go to Manhattan if you don't want to. Most of us don't.
Don't go to the city. We'll go to Manhattan.
Yeah, at a certain age, you're like, it's a trek. It's a lot.
I was going to say, that's what was crazy to me was like when we went up there. Trying to think. I went up there like last April for like a work thing. Mike Green was up there and me and him like hung out a little bit. But before that, I don't think I'd have been up since me and Greg, Griff, Dan, and Latrell and Chris went up there, and we all went up and trained at Marcelo's. It's like getting on a train to go out to wherever, Brooklyn, to go to anywhere. It's like, that's a fucking hour-long train.
Yeah. Depending on what neighborhood you're coming from, because I remember I told you I took a bus first.
Yeah.
So I'm like basically at the edge of Queens and Long Island. Like I was in we call it boonies, you know?
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
What's some shit that you have to like explain to people down here about New York? Like, what do people not get about New York? I don't know. That's probably a weird question to ask. But like you're sitting there saying, okay, yeah, like people always say New York is one city. It's really not. It's all these different neighborhoods and everything that's put together that kind of like makes up the city. Is there other shit like that you like have to try and explain to people down here?
The most common thing is when people ask how I'm doing and I don't say anything back. Like there's this girl that used to work at the front desk at X3. Her name's Jessica. And she's like, I was like, hey, what's up? And she's like, hey, how you doing? And then I just scanned my barcode and I kept walking. She's like, Amon, I asked you how you're doing. And I was like, good, I guess. I mean, like, we don't answer that question up there at all. It's just like, hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? That's it. We're not actually asking, how are you doing? Then that's a whole thing. We're trying to get somewhere. So that's the most common thing. Like people getting used to what might be rude, but it's just like we're always trying to go somewhere. Even if you're not, you just feel like you have to be doing something. So, yeah.
I kind of like that about New York, though.
Do you?
Wait,
did you grow up here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like a lot of the Southern hospitality shit in Atlanta.
I like it. Yeah. But I mean, it feels like what you're exposed to, right?
I'm kind of jaded by it because I went to school with a bunch of people where it was like they would be so sweet to your face and they would talk so much shit behind your back. They're like, oh, we're just really praying for, like, in code is like, she's fucking up. Like,
oh, nicety, someone called it. This Uber driver, because I was taking a lot of Ubers when I moved here. She was like, people will be nice and nasty to you.
Nicety.
She called it nicety.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, bless your heart is like, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I'm kind of jaded by a lot of the Southern stuff, and because a lot of it is, it's very similar to New York, where it's like they're asking the question, but with the New Yorker attitude of like, "Hey, how you doing?" It's like they're doing the exact same thing the Southerner is doing. The Southerner is just taking more time to do it and pretending.
Yeah, I get it.
The Southerner's like, oh, how are you doing? Oh, you're doing good. That's so good. I'm so glad to hear. And then they're going to ask you about your aunt and your cat. And you're going to have this like 2-minute long interaction. They didn't give a shit about any of it.
Yeah, they're probably not going to remember what you said.
They're not going to remember a word of what you said when it would have just been a hell of a lot easier to be like, hey, how you doing? And keep moving.
Yeah, so if you like the straightforward approach, then definitely New York is for you.
And the speed. The speed of New York is awesome.
Like I miss my friends and family, but the city, I was there for 28 years. So after a while, I was like, I was going to move to Florida, actually. But I made it to Atlanta.
Where in Florida?
I was going to try to go to Fort Lauderdale, as close to Miami as possible. Yeah. It's best that I didn't go, though. I don't think I would have been as focused.
Amon turned loose in Broward County, Florida.
Yeah, I don't think that would have been good for me.
It's been good for one aspect of your life.
Fun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would have been bad for everything else, but great for the fun aspect.
Retired as a purple belt.
Retiring to focus on my career as a tequila drinker.
Yeah. It's been a minute, though. I'll be back.
We can fix that whenever
sooner than later.
I was about to say. Organize
That's my go-to right there. That's like my top 3.
What?
Tequila.
Yeah. Tequila is incredible.
Yeah. That's one of the things I can have for the night and not get like trashed. If I stay with that one thing, I could do like how you like do day drinking from like 2 to 10. I could do that and I'll be fine as long as I coast. But once I start throwing other bullshit in there, see you later.
You can go out and you can have 7 tequila drinks, wake up the next morning and you're good. But if you go out and you have 7 like whiskey cokes, you're gonna feel like dog shit. Mm-mm. You do 7 tequila sodas, you wake up the next morning and you're more productive. It's science.
Yeah. Or it's on the internet and we know that's...
Dude, that's a scientific study conducted by me. N equals 1, more tequila, more productivity.
Yeah. Less sugar, they say, right? Something like that.
Yeah, less sugar. People say it's a stimulant too, which I don't think I quite believe because it's alcohol at the end of the day. But if you get real tequila, the problem is that people get shitty, cheap tequila that's not real tequila. It's like 50% agave, 50% additional sweetener, which is why people will drink like Jose Cuervo and they're like, oh my God, I get the worst hangover on tequila. It's because you're not drinking tequila. You think you're drinking tequila. If you go out and you get like a little bit nicer tequila that's like $35 for a bottle or $30 for a bottle, you can sit there and have tequila soda with that. Like you can have 7 of those.
Jose Cuervo, like $18 or some shit?
Bro, and it's too expensive at that.
Yeah, I was doing that in like college, but once I really started learning, I was like, okay, there's better options out there.
Everyone associates tequila with the shitty, cheap tequila they drank in college. Everyone. And then you go to like Mexico and you can go to the city of tequila. That's a sick place.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never even been to Mexico yet.
It's a good time. I need to organize. I've been in discussion. We're going to organize an Odyssey field trip
to Mexico.
South of the border.
We all have to make it back.
That's optional.
No,
Sam Ronta's not allowed if that's the goal. Sam, you're not allowed to go to Mexico. You're a liability in Mexico. Sam's the type of dude that wanders.
He speaks good Spanish, I think.
He does. Yeah. But he wanders.
Yeah.
You give Sam 4 tequila drinks, that man's gone. You would see a picture of him wanted.
Was that movie The Hangover?
Yeah.
It'd be like that.
Exactly. Exactly. But no.
That would be a good time though, Odyssey in Mexico.
Me and Nick Sherry are talking about trying to do something in Mexico.
Really?
Yeah.
I would be down. My last trip was Euros.
Yeah, dude. It'd be.
I've been pretty local since then.
It'll be a long time. Like it'll be sometime off in the future. We were talking about doing some like film shit down there.
Oh, nice.
It'd be cool, but
he's from Mexico too. So
yeah. Well, I don't think he's from Mexico. Well, he's half Mexican. Yeah. No, dude. Mexico's a cool fucking place. I love that place. I could live in Mexico. Easy.
Yeah, you were saying that on one of your videos. You would like move out.
I'd move to Guadalajara in a heartbeat, dude. I love that city. Guadalajara is sick. The whole west coast of Mexico is sick.
Have you been to Portugal? I keep hearing about Portugal. Okay.
I've never been. I want to go. I want to go really bad. A buddy of mine, Deepak, actually, the episode with him is coming out like today. He's going to Portugal. Like,
Deepak
Sharma.
Does he play chess?
No.
Okay, because there's a guy I know. He's like a champion chess player. I met him at work.
No shit?
Yeah, I was wondering if it was the same guy.
Dude, I'd love to interview that guy.
The champion chess player?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's about that life. He's like, I don't want to say like me, but chess, but like we were exchanging stories. And I was like, oh shit, you really do this? He's like, yeah, I beat people for money.
Bro, I'd love to interview that guy. That would be sick.
I probably have his numbers too.
That'd be badass if you did. No, he does not play chess.
Oh, okay.
He lives in Miami. He doesn't even live here. But he's going to Portugal. Dude, everyone that I've heard that goes to Portugal loved it.
I have like 2 clients that went there twice this year already.
Really?
Yeah.
Just go hang out?
For family stuff or for work, or like they just really love the country.
Dude, it looks gorgeous.
Our barber just went.
Yeah. Our barber. Yeah. Fucking Jason. I love that man.
Bro, I like how he's always busy and doing things because it makes me stay on point with my haircuts where I'm like, okay, when are you leaving? All right, I need a haircut right before you leave.
Yeah. Dude, that man is fucking booked. I went on one time because I was like, damn, it's been a minute since I got a haircut. Let me go book a haircut with him. He's booked out for like 2.5 weeks. I was like, Jay, what are we doing? He was like, yeah, fucking
He's
making
a
money.
beast, bro.
Bro, that whole sanctuary shop is sick. That place is always booked out.
It's a good vibe in there too. The energy's great.
I want to have Herrera on.
Yeah,
Brandon
he's doing
Herrera.
his thing over there. I was going to say.
I want to have him on. Brandon, come on this fucking podcast, dude.
That's the collab we need.
He's cool, dude. Dude, I just think it's sick that like in this city, there's a bunch of young motherfuckers, especially that like we wind up being around in like some weird capacity that are doing cool shit.
I feel like Odyssey attracts a lot of, like, of course, there's ladies in there doing amazing things too, but I always bring up like it's kind of like a entrepreneurial brotherhood happening. Like there's just so much game to soak up in there if you just stick around a little after practice and just shoot the shit with people. It's like, oh, I didn't even know you did that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I soak up game from you, DK, Danye, Brandon, Lee.
Bro,
like
everyone.
There's so many mentors in there. Just look around and pick. Fian,
dude, it's just cool. Like I was trying to explain to someone, it's like jiu-jitsu attracts a weird, fucked up in a sense crowd. But you wind up meeting people that you would never meet in any other like walk of life.
Yeah.
It's like they're on no planet would I ever interact with Eldon. He's fucking 21. He's in college at Kennesaw, I think.
I think so.
I think it
KSU or something like that?
Yeah, Kennesaw State.
I think so.
Yeah. Like 21 in college. I'm fucking 27 in real estate. Like there's no reason that me and him would have ever crossed paths except for through Odyssey.
I see that.
Like, there's no reason that you and Lee would have ever crossed paths.
Right? Yeah.
No reason that you and Ruben probably would have ever. It's like.
Even me and Laney.
Exactly.
You know, unless I needed to do anything that had to do with his business. Yeah.
Exactly. Like, all these different guys. And then, I don't know, I think it's cool that there's now a bunch of dudes. Dan got a bunch of dudes' jobs.
Yeah, that's like another niche in itself. Yeah, they're doing their thing. They're pouring back into the community, I would say.
I think it's cool. Like one of the things, I was talking to Dan about this. I was like, it's really interesting because there's a bunch of people where you see them in a gym, and weightlifting gyms, I think, are worse about this than a jiu-jitsu gym. But it's like, you'll see them in the gym all the time, and it's like, you have somewhat of a friendship, a relationship, but you don't really like make it real. Like you don't really take it outside of that.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know. I feel like Odyssey, we do a pretty good job. It's like people are hanging out at tournaments, people go out after, people, whatever.
That's new for me.
Yeah.
Because back home, I was living, like when I was really competing, I was living in Brooklyn because like well into white belt, I moved into an apartment with my sister. I moved out of my grandmother's place.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were sharing an apartment. So I was living in Brooklyn and training in Soho and in the Bronx. So like, after practicing the Bronx, I can't really hang out. I gotta go all the way back home to Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
And then these guys already live in the Bronx, so we didn't hang out as much, but it's so easy now. I just throw my bag in the trunk, jump in the shower. A 20-minute ride is way different than a 45-minute ride on the train. So it's like I'm still adjusting to being able to hang out with my teammates more. It's rare. That's all good.
My bad, trying to fucking play footsie with you. It's interesting. Yeah, the 45 minutes on a train is taking the fucking subway is like somewhat stressful, bro. People on the subway are fucking freak shows.
Yeah, if you grow up in it, it's pretty easy to navigate. But if you're new to it, it's like, what the fuck is happening? Most people think people are crazy for listening to music while on the subway, but I mean, you just gotta know what to look for.
I'm gonna say keep your fucking wits about you. Don't be sitting there staring at your phone.
Yeah, I wouldn't like stare at I'll read a book, but as far as the phone, they give you service in most of the stations now. It wasn't always like that.
Really?
Yeah, like when I was in high school, there were probably like a few stations, if the train stops here, you can get service real quick, but as soon as it gets in a tunnel, clip.
Yeah.
But now you got fucking Wi-Fi through the whole shit, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah. Jared was telling me, he was like, I was on the subway and I saw some dude wearing the fucking what are they? Apple Vision Pro glasses,
the virtual
goggles.
Reality thing?
Whatever the fuck those VR goggles are from Apple. And he was like, I wanted to rob that motherfucker just to teach him a lesson. He was like, that's so stupid.
People are too comfortable on the train.
Yeah.
Like there's levels, like music, okay. Or maybe I'll listen not on silent mode, maybe on, a different type of mode. Because crazy shit does happen in the subway. It's just a freak show sometimes.
I feel like a lot of Americans just get spoiled for how safe stuff is. Like I was trying to talk to someone about like Mexico on this, and I was like, yeah, it's fine. Like just don't be sitting in a bad part of town with your phone out. And they're like, well, they'll steal your phone. I was like, motherfucker, someone will steal your phone off a subway if you're fucking around in a bad part of town not paying attention.
Especially if you're sitting by the door.
I was about to say, someone snatched that shit, run off the train. Like
there's some neighborhoods that I don't think will ever be gentrified just because it's just that rough.
Where?
Brownsville. I don't think that, unless it already started and I don't know.
Okay.
Somebody correct me. But I don't think Brownsville will ever be gentrified.
It's just that bad.
It's tough in Brownsville. I've had friends that lived there. I've never hung out there too long. But I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
Is that like you think the worst neighborhood in New York?
Brownsville?
Yeah. I've heard a bunch of shit about Jamaica, Queens in like rap songs, so I've just assumed that it's not great.
Jamaica's tough, but I mean, if you ask the rest of the city, they have everything to say about Queens.
Really?
Yeah, like we're like, people don't want to count Staten Island, and then they don't want to go to Queens because it's too quiet. But I like when it's quiet. I don't want it to be rowdy.
I was about to say, it's not necessarily the worst thing. Like,
it's not to me. But I mean, Jamaica is pretty tough, but I mean, the whole city's tough depending on what hour you're out. Even Times Square, 8 a.m. to like 8 a.m. to really like 8 p.m. cool. But once all those shops start closing down, it's fucking crackhead zombie city, bro.
Yeah.
So it just depends on where you're at. But I think roughest neighborhoods. Fuck, it's slipping. Definitely. Damn, I can't believe I'm forgetting this. Canarsie is pretty crazy.
What the fuck is that?
That's like lower Brooklyn. That's where Pop Smoke is from.
Really?
Yeah. It's pretty tough down there. Like specific numbers. There's like the streets have numbers and letters, so specific numbers are a little bit. Oh, as Far Rockaway, it's tough.
Far Rockaway?
Yeah, that's like a little lower than Canarsie as well, but like a little downward.
I gotta look this up.
It's like on the map. Let's see if I still have my New York map in my mind.
I wish I could pull this shit up on the. I have no service down here, so it'll take a second.
Fuck. It's okay.
It'll take a second. I've always been like curious about the different spots.
And then the
there.
Bronx
like,
is tough too.
Yeah?
Yeah. The whole city, I would say. I don't like to pinpoint areas. It just depends on who's there. It's the right time or the wrong time.
Yeah.
You know?
Dude, when I was 17, we played a game or two at Columbia. And their stadium was like way further north than where the college is. And it was dicey.
For baseball?
Yeah.
Columbia? I didn't even know they had a
yeah, I was 17. We went on like a bus trip, like up the East Coast, and we played.
Oh, right. Schools. They have like the big clock. No, that's another school.
I don't really remember anything about the field. I
had a graduation there. I remember somewhat of that campus.
Yeah.
Was that upstairs or here?
I don't know, bro. Normally, Kashan just comes in. That's so weird. Hear people talking upstairs. It fucking spooked me for a second. I was like, motherfucker.
Yeah, for real. The mic is hot still.
Anywho.
All right.
Bring a fucking gun down here next time. Not actually. Well, my map's not loading, but I don't remember anything about the stadium. I didn't play. I was a pitcher, so I was like, I think I threw a couple days before, so I was like not playing. I was just hanging out in shorts while they were playing on fucking Columbia's field.
Bro, I didn't know pitchers like fuck their shit up.
Oh yeah.
Like I didn't know it was like I knew they threw fast, but I never realized that the human body probably shouldn't be throwing anything that fast or at that angle. There's this guy named Connor that like takes a bunch of my boxing classes, and he was on the Braves for a few, and like he was telling me about how his shoulder got jacked up just pitching, and I was just like, he was telling me how many pitches they throw a game, and I'm like, oh, of course your shit is jacked up.
No, I think the most I ever threw in a game was like 120.
120?
Yeah.
So what do you like? Do you feel it the next day, or you feel it mid game?
No, you don't feel it mid game. You feel it
because of the adrenaline, right?
During the game, most of what you feel, at least for me, was like the cardio aspect of it. So what really happens is the difference between a starter and a reliever is how good your cardio is and how repeatable your mechanics are. So
like efficiently though.
Yeah, because you have to have everything like kinetically line up to throw a baseball fucking 85, 90, 95, 100 miles an hour. Like you've got to be perfect.
Yeah.
Close to perfect. And it's as you get tired, it's the same thing in boxing. You get tired, what happens? Your hands drop.
Yeah.
You get tired in pitching. Okay, now you're not getting enough rotation out of your hips. Now you're not getting enough rotation out of your trunk, like your core.
So now you're
not getting enough drive off your back leg. And so it's like your mechanics start to deteriorate. And that's when you start to see, you know, your velocity will come down a little bit. Your off speed has less movement to it, that kind of thing.
What's the lifespan of a pitcher in the MLB, would you say? Like, as far as like, I'm going to start at this, like if you get a healthy...
Dude, average, this is just me spitballing. I bet the average pitcher in the MLB has a shelf life of less than 5 years.
What?
Because here's the thing, you only have 5 starters, you have more relievers, and the relievers, there's a lot more turnover. There's a lot of turnover. But dude, I mean, they've done studies, a lot of pitchers, even in the MLB, have torn labrums or rotator cuffs in some capacity. It's just a question of how badly it's torn. Like when I tore my labrum, it felt like my shoulder was on fire. Like it literally felt like someone was like soldering the inside of my shoulder.
Oh, fuck.
It was miserable. Like I remember it so vividly. I was pitching and I was in a summer league in Myrtle Beach. I was warming up and I was like, something's off. Like this just doesn't, like, I don't feel good. Like I feel like I have no velocity. My control was bad. My break was bad. And I was like, all right. And there's some games like people will say is like the difference between like a great starter and not is just how long you have stuff. Like people call it stuff, like your off speed, their movement. I was like, I just feel like I have nothing, but you know, you got to fucking fight through it and you got to make do. I sat down, my whole shoulder locked up. I got up to throw the second inning. The first pitch I threw, just warming up, like air mailed. And like my shoulder felt like it was on fire. Literally felt like someone was like taking a soldering iron into my shoulder. It was just like radiating down. And I've asked to be pulled out of a game one time and I looked in the dugout and I was like, I can't throw.
Does it bother you if someone tries to like come over you?
No. This one doesn't bother me as much as this one does.
Wait, are you left-handed?
Yeah. Are you? Oh, yeah, I was left-handed pitcher.
No. I look at what hand people put their watch on.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, wait a minute.
Some people will try and tell you it's the wrong hand. They're like, that's the wrong hand for a watch. And I'm like, well, I'm left-handed, dickhead.
Yeah, you'll bang. That's right. That's correct, right? You put it on the other hand so you don't use it as much, so you don't mess it up.
Yeah, so you don't scuff it. Yeah. But
Wait, so what side do you pass to?
I pass to my left.
To your left?
Yeah.
Oh, most of us do.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess that's just because it was taught that way, right?
I'm left-handed dominant, but I batted right-handed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And like if I'm going to kick a soccer ball, I'll kick it with my right foot.
Oh, what
I'm
about
weird.
basketball? Do you ever play basketball?
Shoot with the left hand.
Oh, okay.
And
Did you know LeBron was left-handed?
I did not know
I
that.
saw him sign a basketball with his left hand on camera once.
What the fuck?
Yeah. I might have been bugging, but we could fact check that. But I saw him signing it, and I guess like his idols were right-handed, so he was playing right-handed, which is crazy. Because he goes to the left really well.
He does.
And I saw him signing like after a game. I was like, he's writing with his left hand. And I think I did like a little stalker research. You know how you find out about a celebrity, you start typing up shit.
No, I'm curious. Yeah. But yeah, no, I go to the left. I feel so stupid going to my right still.
Passing?
Yeah. I feel stupid going to my left half the time. Depends on who I'm trying to pass on. Like if I'm trying to pass fucking Dan or Eldon or.
It's funny though, because some people can't defend on their other side.
I thought about that just because I was like, all right, how do I want to maximize like the time that I train like efficiently?
Because do it one day, you'll see. You're like, oh, this is a different person. Most people.
I might fuck around with that just to see.
Just pick a week that you go in and be like, I'm gonna pass everybody on this side. Like, go at a really good guard player.
Eldon, watch your ass. I'm passing to the right now.
Yeah, and you'll be like, damn. Or you'll see them try to force you to their good side.
Yeah.
So if you can find a way to get to that other side that they probably didn't really drill that often.
That's interesting.
Strategic.
I thought it was stupid because I was like sitting there thinking and I was like, okay, like if I'm only going to be able to train like X number of hours a week, like once, twice, 3 times a week, instead of like 5 times a week, 6 times a week, 7 times a week, like most of the motherfuckers in there.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, how am I going to make the most of that? And I was like, well, it might make sense if I just say fuck it and go to the right because Emily Kwok, is that her name?
Mm-hmm.
She did a seminar.
From Marcelo's?
Yes. She did a seminar at Odyssey and she said something at one point.
Where was I?
I don't know.
Were you a white belt?
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't there yet. Okay.
I was probably still a white belt.
It's crazy. Nice.
And she was talking about it at the seminar and she was like, for a long time, I thought my jiu-jitsu was trash. I just realized because I realized I was passing to everyone's dumb side. She was like, I didn't think I was that, like something to the effect of like, I thought that some of my success was because I was going to the right side. I might be butchering this quote, and if I am, I'm sorry. But she was like, yeah, I was going to everyone's bad side. And so people didn't know how to defend it. And I just got really good at going to people's bad side. And I'm like, that's a fucking strategy.
Yeah.
Like that works.
I generally get good passes on that other side.
That video, this is completely out of the random, but also because we're like running up on time. That video of Homer fucking saying, yeah, I bet he bow and arrow chokes him. And then you taking that motherfucker's back and bow and arrow choking him is so sick.
Crazy. Me and Homer trained so much. Because he's, for a long time when I was light feather, he was a primary training partner of mine. Like one of those, coach said switch and we've been together for like 3 rounds type of thing. Yeah, that's crazy that he guessed that though.
That was sick. I thought that was so badass.
Brady and Caitlin guessed Toehold, but I got to the position and didn't finish. So that would have been like 2 segments on Josh's page, but I didn't finish it. I was pissed about that.
You toehold the fuck out of that dude at that who's number 1.
Yeah. We fought each other 3 times now.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
He beat me at Purple my first tournament in Atlanta.
Okay.
By like 2 points or something. And then we had the fight to win at Brown. And then we just missed each other like a couple of Atlanta Opens ago because he got his shoulder hurt.
Okay.
But he's game though. He submitted like 2 people in the Nashville Open.
Is that kind of weird, like crossing paths with the same people, just like up the belt levels? It's like, okay, we competed at Purple, then we're competed at Brown. Like,
I mean, it's just like anything. Like, if the person's a genuinely good dude, it's cool. Like, it's gonna happen at Black, but eventually there are no more belts to get. And if I compete and you compete often, I'm gonna see you because I need points and you need points, and we're both trying to do the same goal. So it's just like, if they're a dick, then you don't want to be around them. But I know one of his coaches, Rick, is cool with Coach Greg. You know Rick James.
Yeah, he's awesome.
That's Andrew's coach. So I'm just like, I mean, he's a good guy. I believe he's also a firefighter as well.
Yeah.
So just like, I fuck with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's genuine dude. We talk a little bit on Instagram here and there, but you know when it's time to compete, you know we know we're gonna bring it to each other.
Yeah.
You know.
I think it's cool. That's a cool part about the jiu-jitsu.
And it forces you to
community.
get better. Like, you going to play the same game or you going to get better? Because he's going to continue to improve, and so am I. He's up 2 matches now.
Yeah?
Yeah, he beat me by 4 in that Open in the finals.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got to get him back.
Yeah.
Is there like any sort of mental preparation that goes into like, okay, I'm going to be competing at black belt at some point? I'm not saying in the immediate future, but at some point in the future, what do you anticipate the difference being? Do you like what's your headspace at for that? And this is just for like a time capsule. So like, hopefully you can go back and like look at this and be like, damn, this is what brown belt Amon thought before he made the jump.
I know I'm going to have to be extremely sharp because so far we've had 3 people in my weight class come to the gym for seminars. Gianni Grippo, same weight class, already a black belt. Danny and Nick are both feathers in my weight class.
No shit.
They did light, but I've seen them cut down. So it's just like,
bro, both of those motherfuckers are thick.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, like, when I rolled with all those guys, it let me know, like, this is where you gotta be or higher. You can't bullshit. It's gonna be a little bit more serious. You're gonna have to make a little more sacrifice. And it's gonna get a little dark probably. Just like anything. You know, you're gonna have to cut out a couple of things and just take it more seriously. Maybe even drop a few clients to get it, but I think it'll be worth it. But those guys are sharp, like, and they've been in the game a little longer than me. But that never bothered me when I was playing any sport because I believe I can. I'm not gonna try to catch up. I'm just gonna be the best version of myself. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, when I feel these other feathers at black belt who compete often, I'm like, okay, I have a lot more work to do. Some of my stuff work for a few seconds. I just have to sharpen it. But I'm in a training room just like them, you know? So
that's interesting. Yeah, you start getting into matches where it's like, oh, damn, they've been a black belt for longer than I've been training.
Yeah. Some people.
Some of them. I'm not saying all of them.
Yeah, but there's some guys that probably in the division that, like, for example, the Meows, I think they were browns when I was a white belt. And we're in the same division. Like, if I go to Master Worlds at black belt, I'll probably have to face Joao Meow eventually. Or at an Open. He's not far. He's in New York or New Jersey. So if I go to Jersey Open as a black belt, New York Open as a black belt, wherever he goes and I go, we're probably going to see each other. And we're small as fuck. So there's not that many guys who are going to sign up. So I'm going to run into the top guys sooner or later. Some guys use it as a warm-up. Some guys need their points. And my year's going to come when I need my points. And I'll be ready. Might even get a few upsets. You know what I mean?
That's a fun way. Yeah. It's a fun way to show motherfuckers, hey, look, I want some respect.
Yeah. But I will say this. Toeholds are not going to get me to a world title. Because, some dudes will not tap. So you got to put them to sleep. So I need to start taking them back. So if I'm a black belt looking back at brown belt of mine, hopefully I'm taking people's backs and fucking choking them out. So tap or nap. It's no more snap because the Meows will let their shit pop.
That's so funny to me because if you try and explain that to someone that does not practice jiu-jitsu, they're going to go, what the fuck?
Yeah, they're going to think you're crazy. Which it is crazy, but it's like, if you want to win, you have to beat them on points or put them to sleep. Because most of the time, someone who really wants this, who's been training since they were like 5, they're willing to break an arm or let an arm break.
No.
So
I never got to ask you this because you had to bail out when I was doing all those questions. Have you ever been put to sleep?
Yeah, on Thanksgiving by Andrew Franco. And when I was a blue belt or a white belt.
How'd it feel?
I was dreaming about open mat. It was a Thanksgiving open mat. And I was like, that's weird. I thought I was training just now. And then I woke up to him shaking me. And he hit me with a loop choke. So I was on bottom and he let me come up for a sweep. And I was like, finally, I swept coach. And he put me in a loop choke. And I thought I had enough time to get out. And then I was out.
You woke up. You ever put someone to sleep?
Yes.
How many people?
2.
How's that feel?
It was scary.
Yeah?
Because I really liked the person. They were one of my favorite training partners. It was positional rounds. And I guess they thought they could get out of it was a choke from the back.
Okay.
Yeah. It was never in tournament or anything. It was in class. So it was kind of scary because, like, I've never done it before. But they took it well. I was like, oh, shit.
It's not that deep. You wake up.
Yeah, that's it. It's actually the best nap you'll ever have, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was a good sleep. So
both of mine were good.
I suggest it.
I'm on the Don recommending that you get choked the fuck out.
Yeah, don't tap.
The first time it happened to me, I woke up to Brandon just standing over me. And I was like, what the fuck?
Wait, he put you out?
No.
Oh.
Griff did. Griff put me. Do you know Griffin?
Yeah, I remember him.
Griff put me out with a back triangle. I've been put out twice. Both times it was drilling. Neither time it was even like going live. And both times I remember thinking, this isn't that tight.
They say it takes 6 seconds. If it's on good, 6 good seconds, and you'll go to sleep.
I don't know if it's that long.
Maybe faster, you think?
Dude, because when I went out, when Griff choked me out, we were drilling back triangles. He had my arm up, and I remember thinking, this doesn't feel that tight. I feel like he needs to lock it up. And then I woke up.
Oh, shit. Well, I mean,
I didn't dream or anything. I woke up and I was like, what? Like, what? And I looked up and Brandon said something to the effect of, yeah, you went the fuck out, and then turned and kept walking. And then like someone picked my legs up.
The dimness?
No, I woke up.
Oh, so it's probably that slow blood flow just getting cut off.
Yeah. And then the other time I went out, it was like probably 4 or 5 months ago. And Brady was fucking walking around in his like schmedium nation shorts. And I was like giving him shit. I was like, what the fuck do you have on? Like, why are you dressed like that? You look ridiculous. And we were drilling arm triangles. I can't remember who I was drilling with. And Brady was trying to show him to do it like an arm triangle from mount. He's like, oh, if you just drop your chest there, like you can get it. And Brady's sitting there making jokes about his fucking tiny grappling shorts. And I was like, this is ridiculous. And then I like came to, but I couldn't open my eyes, or my eyes weren't open, and I could feel myself breathing. Like I felt like, and then I like jolted too, and I was like, what the fuck?
Damn.
It's like both times I like snapped out of it. And I was like,
I don't want to get put to sleep anymore.
Dude, I'd rather get put to sleep than have something pop.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think getting put to sleep is that bad for you mentally. I think it's probably not as bad for you mentally. I mean, it's definitely not as bad for you mentally as like boxing or getting hit in the head.
Oh, no, I don't. Yeah, I would agree.
As long as you know, obviously they let go relatively quickly. Then again, I'm stupid, so I don't have a lot of brain cells to lose. So. Some study's going to come out that's like, every time you get put to sleep, you forget your children's name by 5 years. I'm going to be like, shit.
That's why you put them on your arm.
Or you follow George Floyd. Oh, my God.
Oh, my goodness.
George Foreman. Oh, Jesus.
Uh-oh.
And I'm canceled. George Foreman model, where he just named all of his kids George Foreman.
You know, actually, fun fact, the Everybody Fights gym I worked at, George Foreman III owned that gym.
That's sick.
Yeah. He's a cool guy. I met him. He runs a school out in Calabasas now. That's where my mentor is. I call him my mentor. His name's Hearn.
That's cool.
Great boxing coach. If you're ever in Calabasas, you should go to Craft Boxing.
Okay.
That's where you ask for Hearn. He's a beast.
He's
like the boxing version of Brandon. I'll put it that way.
Really?
That's sick. If you're in Calabasas, definitely go to that gym.
That's a fucking stamp.
I'm pretty sure that's the name, Craft Boxing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to learn how to box a little bit. Like I want to learn how to throw hands.
You can do it.
I need some coaching.
Start with the footwork first, though.
Dude, if you show me footwork drills, I'll do some fucking footwork drills.
We got ladders in there and shit.
I've got like a little balcony now. This place that I moved into.
Oh yeah, I haven't been to your new place yet.
Dude, yeah, you got to come over. I don't know when. Like, we'll do some like fucking UFC watch party again.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to take off Sunday. Generally, I just don't stay out that late on Saturdays.
Old ass man. I tried to have you over for 300 and you're like, I don't know.
300? Oh, that was the same night as... I was doing something else that same night.
I can't remember what you were doing. You were doing something.
Yeah, my bad.
No, I got a nice little like back patio that like I can actually set shit up on. Nice. I don't have anything back there. The dude that lived there before me had a shitload of furniture, and I'm like, I'm not buying. Bro, have you ever seen how much patio furniture is?
Yeah, there's a place next to the job that wait, no, is that patio furniture? Antique something, I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, I heard it's bread.
Get fucked.
How much is like a four chair set with a table? Like,
bro, like $2,500.
Oh, I was close. Okay.
Yeah, like, and you can find it if you like go dig around and buy used shit. And I'm like, I just don't have the time or the patience for that. But it's like, if you just want to go to the store and buy like an outdoor sofa,
I'm nervous of those things. Do they like what's the, like, I would need a warranty because what if it rains, all that other bullshit? You know what
That's
I mean?
why they're outdoor. I mean, that's like, it's all the furniture, or not the furniture. It's all like the materials and shit they use. They all dry, like,
okay, cool.
Whatever. But still, I'm like, bro, you think you're fucking nuts if you think I'm paying $2,500 for fucking patio furniture.
Because, like, how often are you actually going to use it?
Yeah, what am I going to do? Go sit out there and like drink by myself? Like, get fucked.
Yeah.
Like,
and I feel like you count as a millennial, right?
I'm technically the border year.
Border? Okay.
Yeah.
What's the one after?
Gen Z.
So you're Gen Z?
I'm like literally, I think it depends on what years you look at.
What are you, 95?
6.
Oh, I think that is.
I think I'm technically a millennial.
Yeah.
A lot of more charts that I've seen say that I'm a millennial than a Zoomer, but some people say I'm a Zoomer.
Well, I would say a lot of millennials aren't home a lot. So it's just like when you do finally get your home, I feel like that's the reason why a lot of us don't buy that much furniture, because it's like, I don't really need this. Like I haven't had a TV in my room in probably since I started jiu-jitsu. It's like I'm not really in my room unless I'm going to sleep.
Exactly.
You know?
To
be honest.
Like this morning I left at 7:30. Yesterday morning, I think I left at 7:30 in the morning. I went back for like 10 minutes at like 5:30. And then I turned around and left and went to Odyssey.
Yeah.
And then I got back at like 9:45.
Like, when am I using all this shit?
Yeah.
How often am I actually having that many people over? It's good, but it's like 20. I could just use that on some plane tickets.
Yeah.
Into my private jet fund. You know?
Yeah. I think I'm a long, long ways away from that. But no, it's like the TV in the bedroom. I think that shit's bad for you.
Yeah.
I've got one now. Agree. It's because the dude left the TV in the bedroom. And I'm not going to like take it now. But
does that happen? A lot of people just don't want furniture, so they leave it?
Yes and no. Sometimes it depends on the situation the person's in. Like if they're relocating out of state, a lot of the time they're like, please take whatever you will. If they're staying in state, a lot of the time they'll take it. There's actually a lot of fights that happen in real estate over used furniture. I've seen a handful of deals get blown up over used furniture pricing. It's ridiculous because if you bought the furniture, okay, for an example, you bought all this patio furniture. You paid $5,000 for this patio furniture set. You got a little like sofa, like love seat thing. You got a couple of chairs and you got like a nice outdoor table, $5,000. I come in and I'm buying your home. I look at that as just fucking used furniture. I'm like,
oh, they add that in to the.
Yeah. A lot of the times people will sell the furniture because technically this is super technical real estate BS. It is not fixed to the property. It is not real property. It is private personal property. Like it is your personal property. It is not real property, meaning fixed to the land or fixed to the home. Because of that, unless specified otherwise in what's called a bill of sale in the state of Georgia, that furniture does not transfer with the home. That furniture, you have the right to it. But if we have an agreement and you go, hey, look, I'd want to get rid of this. And I go, hey, Amon, I want to buy your furniture from you. We'll draw up what's called a bill of sale. And we'll say, hey, look, for all of these items, this is how much money I'm going to pay. You typically in a real estate contract are going to want more money for that because you're going to go, I paid $5,000 for this furniture. Like you're out of your mind. Like this is expensive furniture. I saw that on Facebook Marketplace for $500. Now we're fighting. That I've seen at least 3 deals get blown up because of used furniture pricing, which is ridiculous. Yeah. Like $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 homes.
Small thing to go crazy over.
Bro, I had one that was a $550,000 home in Alpharetta. This is like 3 years ago now. Literally over a $250 difference in furniture pricing. $550,000 purchase blown up over $250. That happens way more than you would think.
That's sad.
Dude, people are shockingly bad at putting things into context. I was doing a condo deal right on the perimeter. Lady was selling the top floor condo, south facing, looking down into the city. I think we had agreed to like 500 and some change again. I looked at what the purchase records were. She was going to make over $100,000 on this thing. Make, like clear, after commission, everything. She was going to be up $100,000, all capital gains exempt. Up. She blew the deal up over about $1,200 in repairs because she was like, I don't want to make any repairs to this thing. And I don't want to give y'all any money to make the repairs. So she like torpedoed the deal. The home the condo did not sell.
It's a lot of ego. Right?
I think a lot of it, a lot of it's ego. A lot of it is people thinking they know better. a lot of people have this really, really strong bias towards the sentimental value of stuff. It's like, oh, well, this is my home. I know how much it's worth. It's like, no, you don't know how much it's worth. The market knows how much it's worth. And the market says it's worth this.
Yeah. They think because they own it, they know the business.
They go, I own it. I set the price. This is like a very, I could actually get in trouble for saying that in a real estate context. This is a very client dependent way. I'm trying to think about how to say this without violating any sort of law. A lot of people think that just because they're making the money on it, there was no luck involved. When there is luck involved in everything. It's like, yeah, you bought it at the right time. Did you know you were buying it at the right time? You might now say you did at the time. You probably didn't. Just speaking generally. Now you're selling it. That's a product of the economy. That's a product of the market. So on a lot of fronts, yeah, you got lucky for the appreciation. Yeah. Did you have some foresight? Yeah. Were you also in a time when it was a lot easier to buy a home? Yeah. And so they think, well, I knew I had the skill, the wherewithal to make this money on the sale of my home. Therefore, I know the business. It's like, no. Actually, you know very little, but you think you do, which is dangerous. And those are the people who get their heads handed to them. But what the fuck do I know?
Yeah, that's what I say now.
All I know is 2 + 2 is 4, dude.
Yeah, very careful to talk about what I don't know.
Every single person that I meet that is very eager to tell everyone that they're right about everything and how much they know is oftentimes a fucking imbecile. Like sitting there like, I know the perfect routine for building muscle. Like, do you?
Yeah, for real.
You know the perfect
You have to
one?
leave the art form within practice too.
Yeah.
Some people think there's only one way to do something.
Yeah, it's all context dependent too. Like it's goals, context, everything. No one wants to include that though. That's not sexy. But we got to get the fuck out of here, sir. We went over.
Nice. Is that good or bad?
That's good,
I think
dude.
that's good.
I appreciate the fuck out of you doing this, man. This was fun.
Thank you.
We will do this again. We got to have a fucking Odyssey group podcast. That'd be fun.
Let's do it.
Me,
I'm
you.
gonna be the quiet one.
Nah, we got to fucking. We'll bring out the tequila. That's what we'll do.
Oh shit, that's what we need.
We'll bring out the tequila.
Tequila and me.
Me, you, DK, Sherry.
Dangerous group.
Tequila. That's what I'm saying. I'm on. DesSources. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.